Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United.
Remember the comment you made?
I got some bars to these.
Run Ryan.
Right.
And here's the thing, you have players out there.
I think the fellas are taking more serious.
What grade?
That one.
Yes, because at the end of the day, right now, Manchester United are
Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United. Nico, Simeon, Chef, JP, Phil. Guys, I know this is a tough one. So I admire the commitment. Right. So let me see if we can get through this one. Right. I mean to lose in the manner in which we lose that goal, kind of goal you conceded. I don't know if I don't know.
Nah. You see me, I hear, I have my little medal on, I think to myself, you see, I mean, for me, in the Europa, you kind of look into the side to see which team you're going to play. Say, boy, if we make a team final, who might be there? For a long time, I said, boy, what's the worst way we can end the season? I said to myself, boy, if we lose to the Spurs, that could be the worst. Because Spurs, though, I mean, they ain't got no fans, but just the other teams seeing you lose to Spurs, and the kind of players Spurs have, Richarlison and Romero, that's Gunny Iskin. I mean, that alone, and we watch our team play bad football for most of the year. Yet still, some of us get up this morning excited, a little worried but excited. Make plans to leave we work, to go, to go to a bar, go home, eat some food, and watch this game. Just thinking that something good will happen. And as fans, especially with this team, it ain't easy. So we got as fans, we something else. We something else because we see this team and what they've been doing all year. The thing that we come in here and win this game. I mean, it's heartbreaking the way we lost, but still, plain and simple, we ain't not good this year. We still got to score goals.
What it is. It wasn't totally surprising. The team has been garbage all season. We thought, we kind of hoped that the season would have finished on a positive note. It didn't, and we just move on from that. No matter that, to be honest. I don't even have the energy to call out players tonight because everything is plain to see. We don't even have to go through that. We know what is garbage. We know we have a shit on for a keeper. We know we has very suspect players. We know we are very egotistical players. We know we have players who just about self. So even trying to harp on that tonight, it is what it is. To be honest, I would say the performance wasn't terrible. It really was not a bad performance because we've seen worse this season. But again, the ability or lack of ability to score, and then when you have latrine in the back, this is what happens. Simple as that.
No, like I mean, I know Karim that asked the questions, but I mean, do you all think losing a final this year will help us or hurt us going? I mean, obviously the money part, but as far as the team mentality going next year, because last year before, we won a cup, and we can say, well, we win a trophy, and we kind of, a lot of things kind of slid. But this year, I mean, ain't no, ain't no rainbow, ain't no pot of gold. We had, by not rainbow. So, do you think that losing and this manner to that team, you know, will go further as far as our development for that team?
To answer that, but it's a good question because not having Europe might help us be more focused next season, but at the end of the day, when you support Manchester United, and you're
Internet
reaching
in
a
and out.
final,
My internet really in and out, son. I didn't hear anything Simeon said.
yeah. Are they in good, right? Or I clear,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, so when you support Manchester United and you make it a final, you expect your team to win, especially when it's against Spurs, right?
Mm.
Because in our
Not
history,
really, not really,
no, no,
JP.
no, there's recent history we say not really, but all the time it was just Spurs. And Spurs is the team that is Spurs it, right? They're known for bottling. There's a team that known for bottling when they make it to finals. So we went to the unbeaten season in Europa League. We had a discussion about this on the last pod where we were talking about if we deserve it or if we don't deserve it, and we looked at it from a point of view that we unbeaten in the competition, only to come and lose the most important game of the competition, to put a seal on what has been the worst season in my lifetime at least. And from what I hear from older Manchester United fans who say even the relegation season wasn't as bad as this, when we were relegated, they say it wasn't even as bad as this. So this is possibly the worst season in the history of Manchester United Football Club. Right? So what we going to do tonight? We going to point fingers at. We going to talk about Amarim, we going to talk about players, we going to talk about Ineos, we going to talk about Glazers. I don't know where to go with this team again because I cannot see how a club like Manchester United not being in Europe is beneficial to us. Because we are Manchester United. And I don't care what nobody say talking about history and past and whatever. This is what this club is known for. And we not in Europe next season because we finishing possibly 17th in the league and couldn't beat Tottenham Hotspurs in our final in our competition and we win every game that we didn't lose our game in. That's how we're wrapping up this season and all. That's how we're wrapping up this season and finishing just above relegation and not being able to beat Tottenham Hotspur in our final. Let us think, That is
Tonight
how
we be sleeping like
Manchester
a
United can
tonight we be sleeping like a baby tonight.
like a baby. Like a baby.
Because not
Because
tonight it will not be so bad. It will not be
Tenag
so
leave
bad.
us 4 points off the top four when Tenag leave us earlier. 4 points off top four. And we could possibly finish 17th in it. Not even on 40 points, on 39 points in it. Nah. They might scrap the whole thing, boy.
I don't know why, fellas. I get drawback in, and I invest so much emotion in this cup. I don't know, boy. I don't know. I invest too much emotion. I tell myself, I say I'm not going to make Man United hammer here again. You understand? To be feeling how I'm feeling right now, Jed. Because I mean, all your Spurs didn't play no football. Spurs didn't come to play football today. You understand?
But could we say that only after the goal? Because after the
No.
goal they didn't need to play no football.
Well. I
They
mean,
didn't need to play no football after the goal.
I mean, But when the goal score, Nico, in the 40th minute or something. So
But
for 40
that
something
point,
minutes,
up to that point, they
minutes,
weren't looking that bad. They
no,
had
but
their chances.
they were not
We
playing.
was
No, no. What chances Spurs had?
What them do?
No, but
What
they had.
chances
No, I mean
Spurs had?
they had a lot of set plays because we were giving away
The set
bad
plays,
Damn,
no,
balls
the set
Spurs
plays are
and
was
bad
a
set.
result
corners.
of us not
That
doing
was the
anything.
chances they
They
were
Oh
having.
God,
didn't break us down,
Spurs.
Nico. In no
Dan
way.
Nicholas,
Yeah,
Spurs
but
wasn't playing nothing.
But we weren't playing
Nothing.
anything.
Little mistakes that we
Okay,
were
Yeah, we was playing better than Spurs.
yeah, but
Dan, we was playing better than Spurs.
no,
Spurs wasn't playing nothing.
up to that point, their goalkeeper didn't have a save either.
Yeah, but the point is, Nico, the point is they didn't come to play football. They came to stretch the game and as long as the game could have gone. If the game could have gone to penalties, they would have let it go to penalties. That's what they came to do.
No,
So
but
don't tell no, don't
I'm
tell
not
me,
saying
don't
that.
tell me,
I'm not
don't
saying
come
that
here to
because
tell me
whole
that Spurs
season.
play good. Spurs did
No,
not play
no,
football.
they play to their strength and our weakness.
That is not Spurs' strength, Nico.
All
That
right,
is not Nico. How that is
to
Spurs
our
strength?
weakness. Sorry, that is not their
They played
strength,
okay,
but they
all right,
play to our weakness.
I could accept that.
They play to our weakness because they know all they have to do is sit back and one chance on this United team and they could break. And the one chance they get a score. And that was the tactic. So and same who it was by some other game we played during this season. And somebody say it was Phil. Yes, Phil was talking about that was Nottingham Forest game. And we said Nottingham Forest to play nothing. Right? But Nottingham Forest win. And what we talk about, it don't matter about the style of play, and no, it's a matter about, as they say, finals are what? Won and not played. Spurs didn't come to play, Spurs come to win. And they won. Because they know how to beat us. Just like the entire Premier League. They know how to beat us. If we play another team other than a Premier League team today, we'd win. But our football is so predictable. Just play deep. Don't try to play no football. And when they get a chance to break on them, and you will score. And that's what happened, man. The first chance to score, and they just lock up shop. Because they know we toothless on top. So to me, as a coach, I mean, it's the easiest thing to play against. Right now, I didn't think I was in a Villa game because I'm the same thing.
No time to watch. Yeah, no time to watch this season.
You feel Aston Villa come play? You feel Aston Villa come play any football? Then we have to do the same thing. And with the speed and the quality of when it comes No, what I said, with the speed and the quality they have on the counter, very early in the game they're going on boss. And after that,
Villa not gonna play that. Villa not gonna play to counter Manchester. Villa is an informed dominating team. Villa gonna come to put about 10 on United.
And we so easy to beat. They all any team have to do. Southampton can be cheap playing so, Ipswich can be cheap playing so, Leicester can be cheap playing so, all of them can be cheap playing so. Anyway, let me learn. My first part.
But to answer Simeon, because Simeon asked a good question there, right? And I think the fact that we do have Champions League, the revenues that is generated from Champions League, it will mean now that the club have to do more cutting work within the squad. Right? And I think it's important. I think that's necessary. You know, we need to get some of these players out of the club. Right, and if we need to bring in players because he cannot afford to have a big squad next season because we're not playing in no sort of football, right? It's just domestic football, like one game a week, all right. So that squad had to be more tight. It can't be a big squad. So which means if you have to bring in players, men have to go. And I want to see men head on the chopping block. I've been honest with you. I fed up see some of these players here, right? You telling me? I was watching a pod. And they say Luke Shaw wasn't in the trenches with me, but yet this man get to start in a final.
Exactly.
You understand? When them fellas was fighting through all them games, Luke Shaw was chilling with the meds on them and eating burgers. And you telling me you bringing this man in a final, starting this man in a flipping final, boy?
Then Amarin had to.
I have a serious question mark.
Amarin had to. Amarin. I have
I have a
serious
serious question mark.
question marks with
And
Amarin.
and that's the
Yes.
reason I'm glad we're not in Europe because it's a no excuse
Yeah.
next season.
Yeah.
It's a no excuse.
Let me tell you. I just want to
It's a
say
no
this.
excuse.
This is my honest opinion. Amarin. Yes, we understand the team needs rebuilding. Yes, we understand we don't have Europe and we don't have money and all kind of thing. But let me tell you something, big to big. Amarin have real question marks over him. Yes, he's a coach we like. We would like him to do well, but Amarin make real. I telling all the facts. In my opinion, Amarin made a lot of mistakes in the half a season, however long, I can't remember. He has been here. Yeah? I always talk about managing your squad, and I honestly don't feel Amarin used what he had in front of him properly. This is real talk. I don't find he used what he had in front of him properly. And I talk when I say in front of him, I'm talking about from the senior teams, senior players we had to the under 21s to the under 19s. I don't find it was used properly. I don't find some of his in-game tactics was good. Some of his choices was for starting was very questionable. Before today's game, Rima asked me what I think about the starting 11, and Billy, big to big. I didn't want to go in too much, but I just wanted to be in a positive frame of mind. But because we talk about it here, I would say no. My biggest friggin' problem was that Luke Shaw pick today. I had a massive problem with that. But I say, you know what? It's a final. We go be rolling with it. Let me see what could happen. Brother man, all you could tell me since Luke Shaw come back, if he play one good game, it's time. As Nurim just said, this is why we'll just end with. It's time for Manchester to be serious and move from players. It's time for some men to move.
Yeah. But as Chef start on it earlier, I didn't really want to put no sort of structure to this evening because no, whatever, right? But whatever, right? Yeah, go ahead now.
Yeah, no, it's the structure of tonight is like the game. No structure.
We need a Philly
We just
tonight.
playing it by end.
We need a Philly tonight. Just waiting for Phil to unleash because I know it waiting to come there. So Phil, we here now.
Well, I thought y'all forgot about me, but I just say chilling, man. We as a team chose to forego and down tools about 2 to 3 months ago to focus on the Europa League, and that is the type of performance that you guys chose to give us tonight. We were saying, you know what, the losses to the respective teams we were playing on the weekend, we holding the L's, we holding the draws. And I said, you know what, we focusing on the Europa League, whatever, right? Today had to be a prank, which means the Europa League final is playing sometime tomorrow or whatever, because tonight had to be a prank. I just don't understand how we come on this podcast and we invest our time and energy to talk about these criminals leading up to the finals. We're seeing these promotional videos and these posts hyping us up, and the amount of energy and time and resources that fans are putting into not only just bantering rival fans but bigging up our team. I gotta ask the question if the players even care about us, and I don't think so. It feels like we got stabbed in the heart tonight. I took somewhat of a half day today to go and watch this team. And lo and behold, Manchester United just chooses to disappoint me over and over and over again. We're stacking up L's every single week in the Premier League. And all those L's came tumbling down today. Lo and behold. I don't know about you guys, but heads got to roll. Heads got to roll. Some of these players have to answer for their crimes. And you're trying to tell me that you wait up to the 71st minute to make your first substitution. Hoyland playing shit. And I got corrected today while I was in the bar, and the person was right. I said Hoyland was playing shit for the first 70 minutes before he got subbed. And the man said, no, big man. Hoyland was playing shit for the entire first half of 2025. And I was like, you're absolutely right. He has been playing shit for the entire 2025.
You want to add 2024 to that? Or part of 2024?
Yeah.
The whole 2024, because the second half of 2024,
Yeah.
he was trash as well.
Yeah, and I mean, it took you up to the 71st minute, because I'm there telling myself while watching this game, okay, we're gonna probably make some subs in the 60th minute, maybe the 65th minute, and this guy chooses to bring on Xerxes in the 71st minute. But wait, guys, it gets better. Kobe Mano, who was a difference maker in the Lyon game, this guy brought him on in the 80th minute. Are you out of your mind? Are you kidding me? 80th minute. And you expect this guy to make a difference? But wait, it gets better, because all of a sudden the tactics that were deployed were to hump the ball up to Harry Maguire for the last 25 minutes again and hope for the best. No.
Yeah.
If you are a player in the opposition team and you realize that this is all Manchester United is willing to do for the next 25 minutes, I could put two to three defenders on Harry Maguire, and one of we gonna win the ball, and it ain't gonna be Harry Maguire, right? As I mentioned about 2 minutes ago, heads got to roll, because this team has no passion. This team has no pride. This team has no self-respect. And a bunch of players have to leave this season. We don't have any competitions to hide behind. A lot of these players have been exposed. And what is going to determine if Manchester United moves forward or backward is what we do in the last half of the year. I'm not talking about transfer window, because transfer window is just a small part, right? Ruben Amorim, as I mentioned, making these two subs late and still leaving Hoyland on the field. These questions you're gonna have to you're gonna have to answer for these here, right? Today, as I mentioned, today had to be a prank. It had to, because you're putting in all of these performances in the latter stages of the Europa League. You have us excited from coming 2 goals down against Lyon and Harry Maguire scoring the winner, Kobe Mino scoring the equalizer. Us battering Athletic Bilbao in their own backyard, in the same backyard that we play in today, you know. The same backyard that we put 3 in Bilbao in. And bruv, we could be playing all like no, and we would never have scored a goal, because all we're doing is let to lump the ball up to Harry Maguire. Boy, and to lose in the manner we did today. And later on in the podcast, some players have to be called out. Boy, Luke Shaw, you have the audacity to come on social media and apologize. Apologize by leaving the club. F off. Don't say anything. If a microphone is put in your face, give it to somebody else. Leave the club. Leave the club. and all of a sudden, we're seeing things like Andrew Onana has lost all the finals he has played in. All this bullshit, and it's right. Lost to Ajax when Jose Mourinho was in charge of us. Lost when he was at Inter Milan versus Manchester City. Lost today. Man, you might just love losing to Premier League clubs in finals, boy. My God.
It's real damning though that, you know, I mean, you know, I know it's not about fairness, right? You know, I mean, but we get it harder run to this final, right? Spurs, I mean, there had to be 2 hours in front of them, but it was a walk in the park, you know, and we come here, especially that Lyon game. All you know, that Lyon game accounted for nothing if you don't win this game.
Absolutely.
You know? I'll just get some comments here, guys. Gian Belmondi inside, thanks for joining, man. Good night to you. He's saying, fellas, keep and sell this, right? Because after today, I don't know what else we could really discuss. Yeah, but we
commented it.
Yeah, we have a pod specifically for that, right? So stay tuned. Right? Leon Batiste on the inside, good night, man. He's saying, I don't know why I was keeping my hopes up. Boy, you, me, and a whole keep out of that. Oh, watch me. I was watching some of them, you know, England, well, Man United fans, and the kind of distances and the kind of roundabouts them had to take money to reach Bilbao.
Dan, I was saying that in the bar today, you know. I was, yes, Reem, you see that point you making there? I was telling my regents and them today, I said, Dan, we hear Vex, right? But think about, hey, Polari Master.
Polari
sing. Yeah, dog. And I was telling my brethren and them, dog, study we in Trinidad and Vex, but study men who buy plane ticket, who buy ticket to them finals. You see the price of them tickets, right?
No, but it's had men who had to take train, then bus, then for two hours driving because they couldn't take it was too expensive to just fly directly, so they had to take a bus from here and a train, and they hop on a car. Dreads the kind of trips men take just to reach there to watch that level of nonsense, boy.
Then I just find, man, we could just have a little pride about yourself, boy. God, boy.
Jody, I will come to you just now, right? Let me just get through the comments, buddy. All right. Jesus Action on the inside tonight, man. Thanks for joining. He's saying, I have my popcorn. This is going to be an interesting one, I presume. All right. The game or the pod? Christian on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He's saying Spurs didn't even play any football today and beat us. All right.
Nothing.
Peter on the inside, good night, man. Thanks for joining, buddy. Rayad on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He's saying Spurs completed 115 passes all game.
Wow.
People who dives in installments, no way you can save anything.
We go, you know, and I know we commentate, but we go break down that goal because that goal is more than just Onana, yeah. But we go come to that.
Yeah. Brett also saying here now they're gonna sell the youth instead of getting rid of the dead wood, who has been killing the club for years. Right?
Who you do? Who you talking about?
I feel you talk more Garnacho, right? Oh, so we mean for FFP or Kobe, my team must be talking about. I don't know. Peter said he had no desire in this team, no respect for the badge, and total betrayal to the fans. I could handle a loss, but Amorim's decision making was horrible.
I agree.
It was.
I find agree too that Amorim had me the most frustrated, even more than the players, performance. Amorim's decisions today really frustrate me.
Yeah.
King Rully Pre on the inside, good night, man. Thanks for joining. He's saying Luke Shaw have to go, not one good cross.
But you studying one good cross? One good what he do?
I saying what Monk do to stay on the pitch 71 minutes.
This is
After the first half, you're supposed to realize that the game is not for Monk.
This is it.
After the first half, you're supposed to realize Mount is a super sub.
Mount and Shaw was supposed to come up in the first half. Two of them.
In the first half. Yeah.
This is it.
I forget Mount was on the field, you know.
71 minutes, them fellas play by what Amorim was
I forget
expecting.
Mount was
Amarin
anything.
watching. Amarin watching.
Imagine 71 minutes, Nico, and not a single shot on target by, and you leave them fellas on for so long.
Yeah.
What he was trying to get
What
out?
you watching?
Simeon?
Dan, before we think, I want to say this. One of the reasons we wanted to kill Mourinho was that sending Fellini up front in desperation. Them is thing to get fired for it, and Mourinho is my manager. You see that desperation to send Harry Maguire up to die twice so?
But y'all saying last week that Maguire is a better striker than Rasmus.
Imagine
that.
Desperate.
No, but no, under desperate circumstances, I don't have an issue with it. I don't have an issue
In
with it.
Dan,
Desperate circumstances, for me, we was desperate, wherever. But my thing is, it have other issues, it have the other decisions in the game, chef.
Before that, yes, that is what I'm talking about. Before that, dog.
Yeah. Christian saying here, Spurs were missing key players. We had the experienced players who played multiple finals. We played in the stadium the round before. What really going on? All right. Briad asking, Luke Shaw had a single good pass?
No. I take offense with that. You know what? Luke Shaw had 1,000,001 good back passes. Back to the keeper. And back to you. He had that a lot, man. All game.
Yeah,
all game.
100%.
Huh.
But it's not sometimes, Simeon, that he almost shit up some back passes, eh? Right? Eric on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He's saying if not sure, it would have been the soft. Who makes the mistakes as well? No. And I think JP make the point.
Yeah.
Put Mazwari back, and you play
That's all
in the wing back. You understand?
Dog, you had Dalot there.
We making it look as though Amorim hands were tied. Amorim hands were not tied.
Come now, man. Don't do me that. Not please, not tonight. Ollie. I don't have that energy. I don't have that energy. I drinking rum whole day. I don't have that energy.
This was a game for Kobe. With the tight spaces. The way Tottenham played today. Tottenham did not give us that room in behind like how they was playing previously. Tottenham sit back today. And the first substitution should not have been with Garnacho and it should be Kobe. Kobe coming on the 88th minute didn't make no sense because he needed a
No.
who could have made something happen in the box like what he did against Lyon, like what he did against City, like what he did against who it was in the Premier League. Them goals that he scored last season. Wolves. That is what we needed in that moment. But you wait till the 88th minute. This remind me of the Solskjaer final when he didn't make no subs in it. I was just a frustrating game by the manager. This is what this game remind me of for that. Is the manager frustrating me more than anything in this game?
I telling you, JPI with you. I telling you, that's what frustrates me more than anything else.
Riyadh saying here, them fellas just throw away 100 million today. Yeah. King on really saying Rasmus out. Man is messy.
Best we go to players out there because oh God.
All you have to look at the bigger picture, fella. You see, all you only focusing on today's game now. I look at the bigger picture. For me, I'm not happy, but I'm glad we didn't win. I'm glad we didn't win. Because if we did win, it have plenty players that are remain in the club come next season now. So I look at
sure, boy? You sure,
yeah,
I feel I'm already identify plenty of them, but I still might get some wrong, eh? I get some wrong, eh? But I think you identify plenty of them already.
I pinpointing out Garnacho, right?
Yeah.
So because of that stupid statement come and make after the game, just prove my point now.
But he's never to play our next game for.
Calm yourself, brother.
He's never to play a game for Manchester United again, dog.
Remember,
So you have to be a madman.
remember, all right, if you look at it, right, well, Rashford and them fellas and them going, right? And was because of the attitude, whatever. No, whilst Garnacho might be, as we just call it, the diva man, or the diva boy, or girl, or whatever you want to call him. Amarin don't know that already. You understand? Now, for me, after the end of the game, I was upset because why this man picked this side? Why he didn't continue with him to the finals? And then I sit down and I started to think probably this man want to get rid of some of the players. You know, the diva go act up any feelings after the game and just make it easier for them to get rid of him. You understand? And to me, if you want to go, we are lost in nothing. We go just only be making money off of it. However, how much it is, make we money and let him go about the business. Just as it about our players too. So I looking at it on the positive side. Everybody go be feeling down and out because it's a finals and they wanted to win. But just think about it if we go into the Champions League next year. I telling you, plenty of them players and them was remaining in the club.
I feel it could be the other way.
No, but the reason why I agree with Jody, JP, is because remember, I think I made the point earlier. You need a bigger squad now, and then too with the financial resources, you don't know, what they were doing with that and how much players would have been able to bring in. So you had to keep more players now. So I think on that point that Jody making there, perhaps now that we do have it, it could give us the opportunity now to get rid of more of them now. That's how I could be wrong, eh? But
no, you're not completely wrong. And Judy, I agree with you actually. And I want to add because it's something I said today too that and this was and I think this is what kept me level-headed after the loss. Everybody was, I think, my brothers were shocked how normal I was. You know how I watched his loss as today? We needed to lose because winning cups has been papering over shit for a while. Men getting away with that. You win a cup, yay, and you keep on moving and things what's supposed to change, not changing. Players that need to go, not going because it giving the owners, it giving everybody, the coaches, the excuse that hey, we win a. Remember when we was discussing to the end of last season, Ten Hag? Yeah, and we was talking about if Ten Hag should still get fired even if he win the FA Cup. What happened?
Yeah, exactly. That is why this loss in this final, it affect me like the one way only loss. This one I kind of accept it for waited because we don't play crap whole season to come and win the finals now and as I say, as you rightfully say, just come here putting a plaster over a plaster that already.
Yeah. So for me, that is where I looking at it. Now I understand the financial aspect. Don't get me wrong, but I will go back to what we said earlier here. In my opinion, I don't profess to be the best. I don't know expert, but I will say it again. Amarin needs to manage, use better what you have, and improve your squad better. That's all I have to say. Players need to go there.
I agree with both Jody and Chef with regards to, in the bigger picture, right? But talk to me about your expectations and emotions a day before the finals, 2 days before the finals, the weekend before the finals. Talk to me about your emotions. Talk to me about what you were expecting. Talk to me about talk to me when the players were coming out of the tunnel today. What were you thinking? Right? You were not thinking that we were going to lose today. You were thinking we need to thrash Spurs because it's Spurs. We need to lift another European trophy, right? Now, bear in mind,
after the season, you was thinking like that.
I agree with Phil. I
wasn't thinking.
What he's saying. No, so you was going to the final.
You got listen to what he's saying.
No. Listen to what he's saying.
The final thinking, I don't know what United team gonna show up today.
Nico, listen to what he's telling you.
I know what he's saying.
Listen.
No,
Listen to what he's saying.
Just as any other Manchester United fan, day before, 2 days before, even after we beat
Bilbao.
to get into the finals. All we had the hope that yes, all right, we want Manchester win. We're going into the finals, we want to win. It so happened that we come and we lost the finals, and by losing the finals, now we are actually seeing everything that is wrong. So that is the point that I trying to make now. I had hope when I tell you after as that whistle blow, I tell you I was real pissing vexed. And then after I cool down and I calm down, I realized, well, boy, look for the positive in it. You understand? Look for the positive in it, and I'm telling you, it's my positive already.
Yeah.
So Phil point. So I didn't catch what you were saying, or
no,
it's
that
Phil was
everybody.
What the context was that while listening to Jody and Chef dissecting the team for the future, they made some really good points, which I totally am on board for, right? Where in regards to if we had won this final, some of these players would have wanted to stay for Champions League football and what's not, right? Which is rightfully true, right? But these type of thoughts only come to us after we have lost. That's what I'm trying to say, right? Because leading up to the final, when we beat Bilbao, when we saw the players coming out the tunnel today, it was all Manchester United. We need to win this game here, right? But at the end of the day, these criminals did not show up. And some of these criminals, they had half the roll, right? And lo and behold, fast forward now. Yeah.
But whole season, right? This is the first podcast I coming on for the entire season. And whole season, I'll be taking a team. Listen to all the fellas, I would have put in my little 2 cents in the comments. We all know it has certain players need to go. Today just prove who have to go.
Correct.
I don't think today prove it, but I
could do
it. Today was the final day.
Today, I could. It has certain. The diva is number one. We so-called captain. Yes, he had some good games with the season and thing, but when it mattered the most, it didn't show up. And I don't want that type of leader. I want a leader who could be there when it really matters, and he wasn't there today. You understand? I know the last game he played real crap or whatever, and I was like, in the comments, I was like, well, Bruno have performances in the bag to cover for that. But for a final, you had to bring out your A game though.
Bruno
But here we're going on, Jody. What you are doing tonight is what most Man United fans will be doing in 2 weeks, you know.
Yeah.
That what we can be doing in 2 weeks. You can say, all right.
For the next 2 weeks.
Exactly. In the next 2 weeks, My United fans will be like, well, most of them will say, okay, I've calmed down now. Let me look back at where we went wrong this entire season.
But Phil, my point, my whole season we see rubbish. 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now, you're not gonna think about that.
Yeah.
How you could go into today's game? No, but how you could go into today's game thinking that
because you thinking with sense.
But Nico, we in a Europa. We are in a European final. Of course, I'm gonna.
Listen,
I like to level headed.
I understand why Nico's saying what he's saying.
Yes.
Because the problem is they have plenty fans who was like, the league dead, we train all the eggs in the Europa League basket, and they had this false hope that somehow we have to win, like we entitled to win this competition.
Boy, we Manchester United.
So it had plenty fans who put, so that is why it had people who in 2 weeks time will have to think like this. Because other people like us here, it had people here on this panel who whole season thinking, we can't be saying the league dead. We can't just be throwing away games in the league and be rubbish on a Sunday and then come and show
and then switch on.
We have been saying that over and over. So that is why here for us we can have a discussion now talking about the future. But I telling you, I in some group chats, where to have fans who were convinced that the right thing was to forego FA Cup, to forego the league, and put all your focus behind Europa League. It had fans thinking like that.
I don't know, Olia. Maybe I just confused because I know I get to every men will give me all kind of chef pessimistic talk, but I confused because if we rewind to the last couple of podcasts, when and I'm talking just for me, I don't want to talk for nobody else. When they asked me about the chances winning the finals, how I was very cagey because I watching this side play all season. I watching this team play whole season. So I don't know how men had that. And I think this was my exact words. I don't know how men so confident. Yes, as a United fan, we would have liked to win. But that confidence, boy, the only thing I just have confidence so is myself.
I could tell you how I was
Nah, but
confident.
me,
I
I,
could
me,
tell
I that kind of
you how I was
confidence in this team,
confident,
boy.
Chef, and how I was
Nah,
naive.
dog.
Chef, I can tell you how I was confident and how I was naive because Jackass me was on social media watching all of the promotional videos and getting hype up.
Yeah, the droid.
I was watching the
They
entire
catching me in that.
Nah,
I get catch. Me and
I get
nah.
They catching me in that.
I get
No, I
pussy.
get
I honestly didn't get catch. I didn't get catch.
The one video that catch me real good was when they went back to the Villarreal final and everybody comforting David De Gea. And then the
Wait.
fast forward to
Phil, you gotta give me some of your time, boy. Phil, you gotta give me some of your time, boy.
Nah, I don't. Nah, I don't. I sorry. That's what I tell you. I thought I started to feel. Jody watching from thing. I started to feel like something wrong with me. Men started calling me plastic fan. Damien. Mr. Manchester. Man started calling me plastic fan because I refuse to buy into all that shit.
Yeah, because Chef, you see the thing about it is not you refuse to buy into it, you reach to the point where your mentality now gets so numb because you know what to expect from Manchester United week in, week out.
Correct.
You get so numb to it. You get numb to it now that yes, as I say, you want them to win, but if they lost, it's going to affect.
But they had more factors. They had more positive factors contributing to us winning this final than negative. In terms of we're unbeaten in the Europa League. We're beating teams by more than 2 goals convincingly, right? So you're going into the final thinking, well, shit, we could put 2 goals past first.
I will say.
But
Phil, I will say this, if it was any other team, this is me. If it wasn't an English team, if it wasn't Tottenham, I might have been more confident. But you see that Tottenham withdrawing Tottenham,
you see,
that is.
I just want to
you see, after that clearance on the line, that is when I realized that is it for me.
Not today, yeah.
let me just get Simeon and then we'll go to the comments.
Well, we talk about this. I mean, obviously Tottenham being an English team and then beating us twice before, twice or 3 times before.
4 times?
3 times.
3 times.
3 times.
And then
3 times. 3 times.
Twice in the league, FA Cup, and now Europa League. 4.
And we talk about that switch for we flipping that switch for Europa. Like we didn't look that good in Europa. We have some good periods of play, but in general, we haven't been that great. That's the thing. We say we have a switch. There is no switch. And if there's a switch, it's gotta shorten the switch. So even when you flip the switch, it's still light still coming on because we can play all kind of football and we ain't gonna score because we have nobody up there to score. So all this talk about Europa was nice. We wait till we lose them. I mean, this game was. When we get into the game, we started off nice. We put some pressure on Tottenham. They looked nervous for a little bit, and what happened? We let the foot off the gas. We started playing back passes. We stopped, I talk about Shaw and for us let Tottenham off.
Mistakes.
And we keep on doing that. And Amram
And
said that since Amram get there, he said, I don't know why the fellas keep, do these back passes. And we still doing the same thing. And we let them first off the hook. And then we never really get until we go behind. Then we start to play. Then fellas still don't understand. You name Manchester United. You can't be losing these kind of games. You have to be on the front foot. You have to be the one that's trying to score goals and win a game. Not scoring 1 or 2 goals. You just score, and you already realize, the weight it is until you're behind, and then you want to play football. You wait till, 20 minutes to go, 10 minutes to go. Then you want to play. You want to do all the nonsense. And then you have man like Madison talking about Keane, laughing at Keane. You have these of all teams. You have Tottenham laughing at you. I mean, nah.
And we could have predicted that performance on Spurs because I would have played against Aston Villa.
Exactly.
Same exact football to play against that. That was just the preview. That was the preview for this game.
But didn't we say that? Didn't we say that? Didn't we talk about that?
We
talk about that. And we said that them going to practice because they know. Not only that, but you know what it is too? Spurs know the lacking quality bad. But here what? Them lacking quality and we shit. So as everybody keep on saying, 1 goal it takes. And that is the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when coming to the game itself, after the first 10 minutes, Manchester was so predictable. I feel W Connection or Joe Public or one of them could have played them and beat them. The way they was so predictable because when you look, everything that's down the right-hand side. When you watch from the halfway line to the top of the 18-yard box, where it had no sign of none of we midfielders,
None.
Everything down the right-hand side. And throughout the whole game, if you're watching the game really and truly, I don't know where we midfielders was. Because
I agree.
To the right-hand side, you have Ahmad, Mazuari, and Bruno. And then on the left-hand side, you have Dogu, Shaw, and Casemiro. And the entire middle just empty. Somebody in the middle of the field to pick up the ball for you.
No, but
Jody, what was the part? Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was saying what was mystifying about that is the fact that I wanted to believe we had Bruno play and we had Bruno next to Casemiro to play deep to not have what you just talk about it to not have the middle empty.
Yeah, but
not have it open.
I don't see the middle empty being an issue though. I mean, help me
No,
understand.
No, everybody go lash out at Bruno and say he's trying this Hollywood pass. Wait till go back to the other game in the Europa League where we was winning, right? And you had Ugarte in the middle. You had Ugarte with Casemiro. So again, Bruno the chance to go further up. Yeah. But when Bruno had to collect a ball half field and then make a long Hollywood pass. So that's why I say, Amarin. For me, when I see the lineup, I say this man going about this thing wrong already.
I disagree on the midfield argument, right? Because it's a plenty times in the past we talk about Amarim overthinking and playing too negative in the midfield. You look at how Spurs play. I didn't see the need for Ugarte and Casemiro, right? That would be a waste of a player. Right?
I didn't, and that's why I said I didn't have a problem with
you had to look at it, all right? You didn't see the need of Ugarte and Casemiro, right? Looking at it as Ugarte holding back, and Casemiro could push up a little bit where Bruno will be able to push up a little bit. That's how he was scoring so much in the back.
You don't get a good build out of the back with Ugarte, so you needed Casemiro to build the ball from the back. Right? If you push Casemiro higher, and you have Ugarte being the one trying to build the ball from the back, then that's an easy press trigger. And we will continue to lose the ball from there. Right? The point is, with Casemiro holding and Bruno being there, we know that the opponent will watch it and say, hey, they have an outlet that they could bring the ball out. So let me don't commit. Let me sit back. So with the sitting back now, we know that Bruno and Casemiro could hold on to the ball and could try to make something happen from the midfield. We
But-
didn't
but
need
Reem-
that today.
but-
But the
as
thing
a
is,
coach, right? As a coach watching from the sideline.
When a team sitting
was
back, you need
talking-
you need
as
you
I
need
was
Bruno on the
talking
ball
earlier
from
on,
the top.
If
don't
you
need Bruno in
realize
the 10 again in the 10.
making Mason Mount really contributing to the team, right? Which is also come out halftime, I find. Halftime. When they
Then
come back.
Everybody say that.
Exactly.
Instead.
You had to get somebody who could affect the final third of the game. You understand? Whether it be Kobe, Garnacho, somebody.
Right,
who
so
could
the
take
argument is not necessarily Ugarte, but more so Kobe instead of Mount.
No, but
the problem is the counter press. That is the problem. For me, that's the problem. Because if Spurs sitting back, then what are they playing for? The only thing is they score early. But if they didn't score early, they continue to play so and eventually they would have score.
But Nico, you don't think we handle the counters properly enough, though?
Because they score.
No, but even before the score, you didn't see any real
but that was their
threat at our
tactic.
goal?
But that was their
No, but
tactic
even
to
before
wait
the
and
score.
wait on the counter because I had a chance where Solanke got another chance that he would have touched wide.
I thought we had
and that's all they were waiting for him. If they didn't get to the first, that chance would have get again until the score.
But what I'm saying, I have seen even Ugarte and Casemiro playing on midfield against Premier League teams and they didn't provide that defensive solidity that you're talking about. So
my issue is not Ugarte. Eh? My issue is our proper midfield. We don't have a proper engine room. We don't have a proper midfield.
But what I'm saying,
that's my problem.
If you look at how
we do
the
not
game
have that.
play, all right, so what I'm saying is, if you look at how the game play, I don't think Casemiro and Bruno, in terms of function, was at that big of an issue. All right, so if you go down to personnel and you ask me how Bruno do, all right, Bruno did not play well. Casemiro wasn't bad.
That's where I was going to come and say the problem today wasn't who was in the midfield, it was the performance in the midfield. So Bruno had a terrible performance because every ball Bruno tried to force it today. And it was him trying to force the ball twice that lead to Tottenham scoring today. He tried to force two passes in the midfield and lose the ball. So Bruno whole game was not playing a simple pass. He was not playing
simpler.
I kind of see where Jody's coming from in terms of like, okay, let's say we did play Bruno.
One more thing before I continue, Phil. Right? One more thing.
Yeah.
You see, I understand where you're coming from. You see when Bruno pick up that ball, who is his option up in front? Mount and Hoyland, right? Because today, I swear today we was playing a 4-4-2. Seriously, a 4-4-2. Because Hoyland and Mount, them just remaining up in front there and mounting him tracking back to help cover the midfield a little bit, sir. You understand? So, that's why I'm saying, if you had Ugarte today now, you understand, Bruno would be able to play higher up. You have Casemiro to distribute the ball to Bruno. Then Bruno he would have the options of straight ahead of him or wider. That's just my whole thing. That's my whole point about the midfield. To try and full up the midfield a little bit. So you're drawing Spurs players inside where your wingers and them, your so-called wingers and them, you have Ahmad and Dogu, would I be making the outside runs? That's my whole point.
Let me ask Jody a question, and then you can continue, Jody. You think if Bruno was playing further up the pitch, there's less of a likelihood of him playing long balls?
Well, that is my point. Because it's plenty long balls, and not Bruno alone, even Maguire and all pelting long ball up the field. You understand? It was really ridiculous today.
I think when you're playing a low block team, right? You need more players who could handle the ball better. You need better, right? You can't have. For me, there was not the need for Ugarte, right? Now the point you're making, Jody, I'm not disagreeing with it, wholly, because I don't think Mount, kind of supports what I'm trying to say. And then not only that, the fact that Bruno didn't have a good game, it kind of make it look even worse. But let me take you back. And I don't know if this was JP was going. Let me take you back a couple of games when we had Bruno and Casemiro in midfield and we had Xerxes playing in the 10. That was some of the best football we see. You understand what I'm saying? Because you had Bruno taking the ball up. You had Bruno taking it out.
Xerxes could hold up the ball.
Right. So the issue is not necessarily Bruno or Ugarte. The issue was Mount. So now I'm saying you had somebody like Kobe who could have done the same thing. So it wasn't necessarily the midfield was the idea in midfield wasn't the problem. It was just Bruno had a bad game and Mountwell.
I leave any problem down to the coach. I leave in, you know, normally I go blame the players and thing. I leave it down to
Let me get some comments, guys. Peter saying here, I watched the interview with Hargreaves where he showed clips of the pass to Bruno and Hoyland. That is our problem. This club is holding on to past performances and past victories, but you cannot compare men to preschoolers because that's what this club is doing, harboring the next best talent, the next best coach, and it shows we are rotten to the core. All right. Eric saying here, and he gives Mino a Kobo, right? Scamorim, Sakamorim, and more than half the team needs to stay in Spain, right? Or Scamorim, whatever, right? Keon Paul on the inside, thanks for joining me. He's saying to team going to get cleansed. He did it with Sporting after the first season, possibly Bruno as well. Bruno ain't going nowhere. Bruno and Dalo staying right there. Right? As long as Amorim is manager.
It looked like Monk too.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Christian saying here, Amorim said today he will not quit. However, if the board and the fans don't want him, he will. No, it had nothing to do with the fans. They say if the board decided, right?
But he said something about the fans.
He did say the fans.
He did say the fans. He said the fans, but the decision.
Of course, we know that.
The decision. We know that. He more talking popular opinion.
Yeah, right. King Unruly saying here, Xerxes did better than Hoyland with just his first touch when he came on. No,
we know that. We know that.
I thought as what Nico meant as a next, this is the obvious, right?
Yeah.
No, but what I was saying too now, but anyway. Jason on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He's saying when UNC wins, everybody wins. Even Spurs. Jeez and H's. Kristen saying here that is the third Europa League final Ahmad losing.
I
think we're about Rangers and two with us.
Yeah.
Arun on the inside, good night, man. Thanks for joining. Keon saying here, for whoever saying Amorim out, who replacing him? Generally want to hear the options. Right?
No, I don't think nobody's saying Amorim out.
Nobody's saying Amorim. He's saying
but the verdict is out.
We want certain players out.
Yeah.
That is what
we have question marks over Amorim, but we giving him.
That's all we said. We have questions.
Yeah, we giving him.
So you have no question marks after that performance of the coach today, Jody. And you are not say Amorim a question to answer. You know
I question the team he selected, but I don't have questions over him, you know. Because
Jody, you know that.
I waited.
Jody, you know
everybody, that is on your opinion.
No, we
that what we said. But that what we said is not.
No. Olekia come here and want to sack the man in 6 months' time.
But nobody not saying that, Jody. Jody, we're not saying that. We're not saying sack him. No.
We saying it's
no.
What we say?
He said it.
Yes,
we said there are question marks.
Yes.
But Jody, just like how we could question the players, we have to be able to question the manager too. That's all we said. I'm not saying.
But that is all your opinion, cousin. That is all your opinion. My opinion.
So Jody, you don't question nothing Amorim do.
You see, after the first 6 games
and
next season, after the first 6 games and next season, then I go start to analyze it.
But that what we said, Jody. But Jody, that what we said, that what we said.
I think everybody on the panel is asking why Amorim did this and not this, right?
Yeah, that's all.
But
I like Amorim. But to say,
and get him on the spot so he go explain to you why you do what you do.
Now you are you will have real questions to answer.
Amorim, I just find personally for me, and this is why I'm not gonna kill Amorim. Amorim was brought into a terrible situation, and to be honest, Manchester, dog. Was that? No, but it's true. Because it's not true. We bring our manager into, but listen to me, we bring our manager into a position And
Come.
and then on top of that, you take away.
Listen, we bring a manager who's supposed to be an elite manager. You can't bring somebody who's supposed to be an elite manager and make your team so much worse. And then you're talking about team-happy players, and you're give him a window. The next time we give him a window, and the same thing happened with Ten Hag again. I'm not saying I'm out there, but I'm not giving him no free pass. Because you
can't give him a free pass.
Somebody, you
I
cannot
never
look
say.
at a manager who's supposed to be an elite manager. He is touted as the next big manager, just like Ten Hag was when he came to the club.
The next step.
You cannot say that this man could just he come in a terrible situation. And what did he do in a terrible situation? He made it
worse.
I glad he make it worse. I glad he make it worse.
Here's the funny part. Both Chef and JP are right at the same time. Manchester United shithole. Not Eric Ten Hag, Ruben Amorim, elite manager, but you have to work with the tools that you are given.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So both of you are actually at the same time.
But remember, I said that. That is what I said. That, but and I'm not giving him no pass, but I am saying because he's a manager. With the little I see, I honestly believe, given the tools, Amorim could do better. Saying that though, I mean, I'm going to ignore the shit that I see clearly did at times this season. That is all. But to fire the man, that nonsense thing.
No.
Because I will.
So if you get relegated, what I was saying?
He had to get fired.
Oh, okay.
He would have get fired.
All right.
We've been lucky that the team below us, we worse.
Yeah.
Dan, let me be real, right? Most times when you bring a manager, you try to give him even a couple of players to improve it. So not only did we not give him players to improve the squad, but we take away players. So you take away.
He make some of them calls, eh? He makes some of them calls, eh?
But still,
Replace them.
Let me ask Jody a question. Is it fair to say that we're giving Amorim until, let's say, Halloween to make something happen?
So long?
No, but Jody said giving them 6 games. That's what he said, right, Jody?
Yeah.
But why you saying that?
And I find that fair.
Because before 6 games, you supposed by the 6th game.
All year.
The so-called identity that he have.
All year. What is something I keep? You see how what Jody's saying there?
These players not cutting it for him.
Reem, listen to something. Listen to something before I understand what you want to hear. Why what Jody said there? Because it's something I just echo. In order for me to have confidence to move forward with you, even if you're not winning, I have to see direction. And that's what Jody said. 6 games, we have to be able to see the direction you're going. If after 6 games we can't see the direction,
remember, no, we just basing and judging on the players that Amorim have right now. We don't know.
Yeah.
Come the transfer window, 10 players out the window. We don't know.
A preseason.
That time coming soon. That time coming soon.
Jody, hear my point, right?
I hear you.
Hear my point, right? If we had to wait until 6 games and season, then Ineos don't know what they're doing, right?
Yeah. Agreed.
Ineos do not know what they're doing. My point is, Chef made the point we had to watch to see the direction. This man had a 3/4 of a season to show direction already earlier.
But Reem, you're not understanding. If the
players just hear what I'm saying.
I hear you.
No, let me make the point. If Amorim gets sacked after 6 games, then we're in problems as a club. And you have to decide. Listen,
I never
sticking with this man, whether come hell or high water next season, or he leaving at the end of the season. Listen to what I'm telling you, Jody.
No, you misinterpret. You misinterpret what I said. You misinterpret what I said. I said after 6 games, I will assess Amarin. I never say for them to fire him. I'm making my own assessment.
You could be Amarin out.
No, I'm making my own assessment. I don't have the powers to say Amarin out. I might want it, I might not want it, but I don't have the powers to do that.
If by Halloween night we're in the top 5, Amarin gonna go, boy.
Yeah, no, but die facts, Phil. Die facts.
All right.
That's October, right?
You can't go through our next season. You cannot go through our next season like when we went through the season, dog.
Right.
Cannot, otherwise you get relegated. I tell you earlier.
Well,
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
Relegation.
We had to be decisive. We had to decide if we want to go forward with Amarim or we want to cut it now. Right? Because you telling me you're going into next season and you're going to invest in a manager and you're going to give him 6 games? I agree that Amarim has to make it work, I agree that we can be losing next game in the first.
Reem, that 6 games is based on how much players head out at this transfer window coming here at this summer.
And how much come in.
And how much come in.
It's not about how much come in, boy. It's not about how much come in. If this team is going to play well, it don't matter how much come in.
What team going to play well? What
it
team?
Don't matter. It don't matter. If this team doesn't win games, it don't matter who come in.
Yeah.
It don't matter who come in. This team has to play well.
Nico,
we can't continue to say, well, I'm already getting players in this summer. Dog, if you're not making the players work, you have to go.
Again, my assessment will be based on how much players go this transfer window, how much players come in, and after the first 6 games. That is how I will make my assessment.
So according to who coming in the transfer window, and according to how the team do, when you go say it's not Amarin's fault.
Again, if the team playing Amarin ball, where you go say?
He had 2 quarters of a season to make it work. Right? Let me get some comments quick for
that. You see, before I read that comment, you see, if Reem Boy was there today, we'd have win that game. Talk that.
No, he played the last final we lost in the Europa League. Don't do that.
No, he didn't play. He did not play.
Oh, well, the semi-final or whatever game. That was the semi-final when we lose against, in fact, whoever. I can't remember because it has some things that I just play the ball. I just play the ball, block it, and I just lose.
Right.
How much goals he finished this season with? This season.
Read the comments.
Your player.
Yeah, let me get the comments now, right?
I just say
you score about 8 or 9 coming off the bench, but
Kian said they will announce Cunha in the morning for some positivity.
Yeah. Next.
Right? Darren Fletcher also come now. Next. Right? Ian Tyrone Edu on the inside. Thanks for joining, man. It's been a while.
Good partner. You show some shade here.
Yeah, it's been a while. Boy, let's still blaming coach and the players now, man. It's time we go deeper. Over a decade of this stress, time to start blaming the kit men, the ball boys, and the lady. And the who's cut the grass from 1990. The whole back. Right. You get your one in. I hope Betty's cut a little tail bad. Right? Riyadh said he did not make the statement. It was his brother. We get into that because he did make a statement, Riyadh.
Yeah, he did make a statement, Riyadh. And let me tell you something, Just give me 1 second before you go any further. You see that shit people like to talk? Well, he didn't make that statement, it's his brother. That is jackassness, because here's why I will say that. Your brother, let me talk. No. Your brother and them is a representative of you.
No.
Of you.
No, I disagree.
You free to this brother, man. Your brother and them.
No.
Your brother and them is a representative of you.
Even remember that don't talk.
No, but Nico,
his brother is part of his management team. What is wrong with you?
His brother Nico used to manage his Instagram.
Correct. Thank you very much. What nonsense you talking?
Used to manage his Instagram.
His brother is part of.
Used to manage his Instagram.
And this is. You just constantly see that, though.
I what I want. I disagree. But anyway, go ahead.
Boy, Nico, that's not how we just go. You know,
I use my phone.
Boy, we just Nico doing like if we don't know how this thing does work. them fellas have people in the team to be dropping subtle hints in the media and thing for the media to run with them.
Yeah, but
Don't
you
do
hold it
that,
against
man.
him. So you
Boy,
can hold it against him.
FC boy, I hold it against you.
They can hold it against him.
Nico, let me clear this thing up once and for all, right? So what we're talking about for those who probably watching that don't know is Garnacho brother put a picture of Garnacho on IG and he made the point, working as no one else, helping every round, coming from 2 goals last 2 finals, just to be on the pitch for 19 minutes and get thrown under the bus. Whoa. Right? And that is what his brother posted on IG with a picture of Garnacho.
No, say what he said.
Now let me put what Garnacho said. Right?
Thank you.
Until the final, I played every round and helped the team and to play 20 minutes today, I don't know. I'll enjoy the summer and then we'll see. Does that sound similar to what his brother said, Nico?
Exactly.
Let me hear you, Nico.
What I mean?
Let me hear you, Nico. Oh God. Extend the point. Is he same damn thing?
I disagree with that. No, I disagree. But anyway, because
but what the hell is this? Is not word for word the man now say? So you hear 2 statements. So when you tell it, I want to say something. You hear 2 statements from 2 people, nearly the same words, and it's not the same thing. That's what you're telling me, right?
So I will hold Garnacho responsible for both statements.
Hey, chef, here what's going on? Here what's going on with that?
JP is a lawyer. Wait, tell me.
Oh, Jesus.
Right? As a lawyer, tell me.
One
right?
was written in
Nobody
and the next one
else
was
make a statement, but I take any blame for that.
What's that, Jody? Let me hear Jody.
I take any blame for that.
Yes, sir. One was written in German and one was written in Russian. That was going on.
Okay, yes. Is that. It just so happened, Jody, that in the translation, the French one and the German, the Russian one, and them songing similar. I understand.
Already, man asked for legal representation of the comments, so let me get the legal. Then I think go through JP.
Word for word.
He cannot be responsible for what his brother said. But if we look at it football terms, we know what's going on there. In terms of football,
thank you.
No,
I look at it from the legal term. I look at it from the legal term. I watching at it very it's 2 different lenses here. Right?
Okay,
don't hold me because if it is Garnacho didn't say this, if Garnacho did not say this, whatever his brother said, that to me that would be what his brother said.
Right, but what I'm saying is the fact
this statement now is from Garnacho, I will accept this. But what if he didn't do this, if Garnacho didn't do this, what his brother said was in a vacuum for me by
himself.
He did.
Right, but you connect the 2 statements now, though. The 2 statements.
Of course, I can connect the 2 statements now. No, I can connect the 2 statements, but at the end of the day, what the brother said is what the brother said. Garnacho, I giving Garnacho responsibility for saying this.
Nico, let me ask you 2 questions, Nico.
That's how the lawyer said something. Give me a chance. That's what JP said again.
What I was saying, if it was in isolation and the brother say that, then I can understand you can't really put that on Garnacho. But the fact that he come and make the statement now and then the 2 of them mirroring each other, then now you can look at that and say, well, there is a consensus.
And I agree. Yeah. I agree. Because initially when Reem sent it to me, I told him the same thing. But then this came after and it was like, you know?
But move on, eh? Nonsense.
Just check this out. So because we put it in the Trini dialect and JP put it in the core dialect,
no, it's the same thing. No, what I'm saying is, in isolation, I took it differently. Because when Reem sent the initial clip to me, I say, hey, that's the brother said, Garnacho shouldn't take I'd accept responsibility for that. But no, when Garnacho say it, then it's a bit different.
Oh, a bit. Just a bit.
All right. I guess I know all understand what I mean.
The implications is the same, Nico. That's all.
It is not. But anyway.
Let me just get through the comments real quick, fellas. Right? So Peter saying if we won they were selling more players. Now they have to keep more players. They have to keep some players because we only play in domestic. The rebuild is going to take longer. No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I honestly, I actually agree with what Nicole Reem said. The rebuild have to happen now.
Yeah. We had saying here, Chef, but in 7 months, who has Amorim improved in the squad? Right?
Nobody. But and
James,
it's not just his squad. So let me talk about the team. He has not improved the team, and that's why I and Nico and a few of us here on the panel says there are question marks over him. We
yeah,
have to have question. If Dom, let me be real. If we was 4 points off the top, what was 4 points off the top four, and we end up in 17th place, we had to be ludicrous to not have question marks over the manager.
Exactly.
yeah.
That we didn't even have a manager bounce, Was Wolverhampton Wanderers was one of the shittiest teams
They
in
are
October.
now. They are
So
Imagine
you
we
see
are
the
winning a
football
back-to-back
world's
game
play?
whole season. We are winning a back-to-back game whole season.
Dan,
Right?
when is the last time we win? Not in February, January, February. Come now, man. Oh, you can't tell me. I'm not a madman. And I don't like knee jerk movements. But you can't tell me with a logical thinking that are wrong for questioning the manager.
Yeah.
I ain't say
Chef,
fire him, but
chef,
you had to
chef,
question him.
chef. You're right. But at the same time, look at the strike. Look at the striker situation. You have games where you play all kind of good football and lose, and you have games where you play bad football and lose.
Keep playing Hoyland. Amram keep playing Hoyland. We were upset with Ten Hag when he was failing to play
Rashford.
Rashford into form.
That's right.
He was doing the same thing. He was playing Rashford game after game after game after game.
The
And
man,
nothing
the
was
man tried. The
changing.
man tried all kind of people. The man tried Menu. The man tried all kind of thing, and the man said, "Boy, let me just leave that man
No,
up front."
them thing was one off, Simeon. Them thing was one off.
Simeon, I honestly don't. Yeah, exactly, JP. Exactly. I honestly don't feel he ever truly tried other options. You might have gotten a one-off game here there, but he honestly didn't try. That is
Try
just
who?
me. I
Mason Mount just get healthy. Ahmad was injured for a bit there. I mean, who was gonna play up front besides Rasmus?
Boy, I was bringing, and I keep on saying it. I am promoting the under 21 players. Don't just have them in the squad to look good. So we could only know how men would be if you give them a chance,
But
Simeon.
they
We can't just have them in a squad.
we watch what's got Obi
Chido.
today, and
Obi.
we see he ain't ready. We
But
see he
how
ain't
much
ready.
But Simeon, how much chances did he really get? Let me be real, Simeon. It's little 10 minutes here, little 15 minutes here.
Yeah, but
I might
still,
as get.
Nah, I
And,
can agree with
and
Simeon. I agree with Simeon. Them fellas on marriage.
I find he didn't do enough, boy. He didn't do
Chido.
enough. He didn't do enough.
Well,
can't
let me
give
get to the
him.
comments.
Yeah,
James Scott saying here, good night, thanks for joining me. Saying Spurs did one thing to us till the goal scored, with the ball from an early cross in towards the middle of the box and watch it fall apart. Right, that's how the goal came. We needed that loss. I dare say, come on, man. Peter saying here,
Before I could just say one thing before you go anything,
yeah,
and
go ahead.
because we need to put this thing to bed. You see that Ronaldo PS Morgan thing? What people fail to realize is most of us here did not disagree with what Ronaldo said. What we disagreed with was the time and place it was said, how it was done. Nobody, no Manchester United fan in the right mind could say Ronaldo was wrong for what he said was wrong. What we keep on saying, it was time and place. Dog, you're going on a, first of all, you only say it when things wasn't going good for you at United. That's when you say why you wasn't saying it when you was scoring. You say it when things wasn't going good for you. You went on a platform with a man who hates Manchester United. Nah, dog. We need to take things for what it is. And I will never talk about that interview again. I'm done with that.
Yeah. Peter saying he improved.
I just say my breath to blow my coffee. I mean, but I just say I go say my breath to blow my coffee.
Peter saying he improved Hoyland by making him a better defender.
And Harry Maguire, a better striker.
Riyad saying here, I say take the 120 mil for Bruno from Saudi. Yeah. Dwayne Honorary on the inside. Good night, man. Thanks for joining. Saying as much as we are disappointed about the loss because we love the club, these are the kind of situations that need to happen for hope for a better future. Yes, wherever that takes us. Right.
I realize Manchester United fans have broad back, boy. Lord Father.
No, we had that after this season, Chef, and you still sit down here. You say that too?
Yeah.
Boy,
every week.
Exactly.
Chef, they go Chef back so broad. That chair is looking like a broomstick leaning up.
But Manchester United, we just wicked to ourselves. My word.
Jerome on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He's saying burn it all down, one game a season, clean out house, right? Today wasn't different from the most Premier League games. Same flaws, same senior players letting us down, same way. Time for a proper rebuild. You know, stop papering over cracks, 4 to 5 new players, youths, and get rid of the jokers like Shaw. Right? I could add much more names to that list, bro.
We can add so much more names to that.
Right? Peter saying here, I agree with Phil before. The consensus was that a lot of players were leaving the club regardless of the outcome of today. So I don't think that the club or Amorim wants most of these players, and he was clear about that he said that this is the worst team. Then again, some of the statements he made, that's why most of these players probably intentionally play.
No, I doubt they intentionally play.
He also saying here we had the right to be hyped up because we are in a higher position than Tottenham in the league. Right? Jerome saying here this was a standard PL game for us this year. Yeah, missed chances, concede, stupid goal, lose. This is this team Ten Hag built not for the league. It was proven tonight, right?
Dan, you see the kind of mistakes United has made? We don't buy with trouble.
Give away goals. I don't always give away goals so easy.
Yeah, boy.
Nothing and score we buy.
Dan, but we just give out now. Is the positions on the field we just give away the ball, you know?
That West Ham game gave me nightmares.
No, but
that West Ham game.
But look at that. I mean, talk about the goal. Like, we was in perfect position for a goal. Like, that's the kind of thing a coach is just losing here for, you know. Everybody marked up. Like, everybody in the right. A man that's for asleep for what? I don't know.
I see. Tell Dogu, what's that, man?
But the man right there next to Shaw, like, I don't know what.
From behind Shaw. He come from behind
Shaw. Because Dogu
tell him,
what's that player? Dogu, I mean, I'm sure tell Dogu what's that player.
But let me tell all this something. Go a little further back in that play. And these are the things we just talk about with Manchester United compared to other players. Go back to before that cross. All you saw Maz speed to cross to close down that player.
I tell you, since we
go back and watch it.
Since we lose Bissaka, UNC men get courses coming in like
Rico, come Simeon, you're talking about Bissaka.
No, I mean no.
You mean West Ham player of the year?
Yeah, West Ham player of the year.
No, but like brings it back to like get the players. Like, you can't lose a player and say he ain't good enough and not replace it with a more better complete player. And that's issues we've been having.
I watch Maz, and that's why I go back. That's why I actually like Maz, but watch that play. That's why when we said earlier on in the podcast, when we break down that goal, that there's a lot of things was wrong with that play. It started off with Maz, lack of closing down that cross. Boom. Cross come over.
Yes, with Bruno first.
Well, there's a saying, and I talked to
You see? You could go even further. Thank you very much, Nico. You're correct. You could go even further with Bruno losing that ball.
Twice.
I'm telling you, twice.
Let me just get through the comments real quick, guys. Right. James saying here we really do deserve European football. This is not a champions team or players champion football at any level, especially with the poor execution in the league that many wrote off for Europa, right? And I think that
maybe just point too much time.
Yeah. Because I'm saying here Mason Greenwood top scorer in league. Why we can't look? Oh God, Alio.
You know that not happening.
Hey, oh God, all you just take on 10 times and go back 10 times or what? Jesus, move on.
Yeah.
Next.
Riyadh sitting here, Evra begged them fellas to fight for the badge.
I watched that everything and I said to myself, if this don't inspire men, nothing will inspire men.
I'm not watching none of them.
Don't care, boy.
After this season, I am done watching these hype up motivational videos.
Why y'all wait till now to that much? I mean, y'all watch them play crap all season, man. You guys have
man, call the man.
They may have
Eric
minutes. They may watch
Portuguese. Portuguese Southgate, yes? Jesus Christ.
We look better on that Southgate, and we not be so bad on that Southgate.
These promotional things. You're watching first play thousands of minutes on the field. Thousands of minutes on the field. Game time. And you'll see a 15-second little clip. And I want to get excited. what is that? All the game film you'll have. And you'll watch a little 15-minute, man.
That's fandom to me. We can't help that, man.
These videos are about 2 to 3 minutes long. And just have one or two or three of my favorite songs in the background. And then
what you can do, right?
I just laugh when Phil take that shit up here. That's so funny to me, because Phil is my dog, and I look for Phil to take that shit up at all. Just so what?
Tell you what you gonna do. You see, I go take the bad parts of the games and them, and I go compile one too now. Just to bring back to reality now. So you go get
So wake you up a little bit.
Yeah.
Mickey on the inside. Good night, man. Thanks for joining.
Oh, Mickey, good afternoon, brother.
If we don't have a proper engine room, how is it we were undefeated and reached the finals, Nico?
If you don't think that engine room we have in our mess, then something wrong.
Yeah,
if you don't think we have the worst engine room in the entire Premier League, then something wrong. Then something wrong.
I mean, this year we had the Champions League, the format we had, no good teams drop down. We acting like, we get to this point. We forget that these Spanish teams, these are what French teams. Like, I mean, if 15, then is it 16 and 17 get to the finals of England? I mean, competition couldn't be that tough.
I am gonna answer that. I just believe the English league is a lot more difficult than
yeah.
Jerome saying here, Amorim messed up tonight with the lateness of his subs. He didn't do well tonight, but he has done well in other games, right? We will give him time. He has to learn from this, right?
He had to learn very quickly.
Yeah, as we said before, the grace for him next season will be different, right? So,
very different from preseason to it. Because we shouldn't even lose a preseason game.
Yeah,
I tell you, man, checking from that. And when watching that style of play from preseason, especially if you get one or two players in, and if it's not right.
And that's what I said. That's how he needed that preseason. We will be watching from preseason.
Yeah.
And normally I don't take on preseason games that much.
No, but the good thing as well, which working in Amorim's favor, in the positive and the negative, is that they don't have any international tournament that them fellas and them can be playing in to come back late and wherever. So he gonna have real time all year. Yeah, he gonna have
time
to work with the team.
And your young players, he gonna have to he see this year. He could bring him up. He know who he could.
And I firmly believe as well that he will get the backing from Ineos. I mean, we didn't get probably the targets that we may have been able to look at with the Champions League money, but I still believe that he'll get some player, right? Glazers out, we want a full sale of the club, clearing out all the debt. Right?
When that happen, PNM and UNC go hug up.
Jerome saying here we need new tools, right? Amram wants new tools, and no matter who manages us, fire Amram, hire someone else. We still need new tools, right? MAFC Glazers out. How are you going, man? Thanks for joining, right? It's that conversation now. I don't know what you're talking about. Waiting for relegation to sell to Qatar. Okay. Peter saying here, I think there is hope in Amram because of the fact that his last club still won the league. He left a legacy, and they are still benefiting from his coaching. Just like Stinker's Liverpool old coach left, new coach didn't have to do much with the squad after, and they won the Premier League. Once Amram gets the squad he wants, he should be given a season to prove his worth.
Right?
Sporting at the fire, the man who took over.
Who replaced him first? Yeah.
And replaced him.
Yeah.
And
That was
Peter realized he just cannot kill his own point by making his point there, because you talk about Liverpool and the Liverpool manager, you said, did not have to do much to the squad and they won the league. And then you say, but Amarin have to get his squad and players to go further. So
I mean, the Liverpool squad was better, so we can't really compare.
But the point is, the team better than 16 million. Yeah, team better.
Yeah,
exactly.
But Ian Ream does be talking this all the time. Yeah, we is shit, but are we really 16 players shit, bro?
No.
Yeah.
No, not one player slot guy. Not one player. And he come and tweak what he had to tweak and win the Premier League in Samia. He win the Premier League.
Convincingly too.
And honestly, he win the Premier League because City had our off season. Our entire off season. City on top of the game, Liverpool winning out that league.
Nah, but let me do take away.
We can't do that, Judy.
But Liverpool, that's a bad comparison, man. They have an actual system of buying players and building a team.
Yeah.
Don't minimize it. People win that man, Jody, man.
I told people about 2 seasons ago that Rodri is more crucial to City than Erling Haaland, and people say, "Oh, Erling Haaland scoring all the goals." I said, "All right, no problem. Watch and see if when Rodri go for surgery, how City can perform." And lo and behold.
But City problems is more than just Rodri. It's more than, I think is a combination of Rodri. Yes, Rodri's a big time player though, but it's also a combination of the rest of the league. So I don't know about all you, but I find the English league get harder, you know.
But Chef said
City
have won all of their Premier League titles based on having a great midfield, from Yaya Toure, Bernardinho, Kevin De Bruyne, Rodri.
No, but I think I still think, Phil, the league and the competitive
the league is hard.
It's making it hard. And then
nobody don't afraid City again, you know.
Remember, City have an agent squad too, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, them fellas agents. So you know,
and that is why I say they had an off season.
Exactly. And see Glazers out saying, "I'm all in United." All right, cool. He said, "I want us to get I don't."
You was going good, you know.
Mickey saying here, okay, let's talk direction. What was the direction in the Premier League and what was the direction in the Europa? We talked about that already, Mickey.
Right?
Leadership issue. Right? Kristen saying here, this is just my opinion, I could be wrong, but under Ten Hag, we used to be run over. We used to be leaking goals. As bad as Amram team has been, our defense does look as bad as under Ten Hag, although we have a Kuhn in goal. Our problem is our
most of
I guess you're saying the defense.
Yeah, I want finish reading point. Finish reading point.
Goals too easy,
most of those
No, just
last
not.
season, we could have won more points because we were wasteful and in front of goal, right? If you look at the game against the better teams, we played well, and the smaller teams we struggled to break down.
Normal.
So, yes, I think with his point, and I kind of understand, right? You remember we used to be complaining. Yeah. Remember, we used to be complaining that under Ten Hag, every game is about 10 to 15 shots on goal. We get in every game. We could honestly say under Ten Hag, under Amarin, that much has lessened. But we still conceding goals. But even we giving teams less chances, but we still conceded.
Yep.
So I guess I see the point, but we still conceded.
Yeah.
But because we have a cone in goal, we have a raptor in goal.
Yeah.
Irish goalkeeper.
Erickson here, unacceptable for me. Amarim out. This is modern football, and you have to be able to adapt and work with what you have. Right? You are not always going to get what you want. Amarim had enough time, and we are regressing. The team is poor, but not a 16th, 17th place team. Right?
And I can't argue with Eric.
Yeah, I mean, I see Glazers out saying it's the Glazers effect, right? Jerome saying his team is better now than under Ten Hag. We was losing games to Liverpool 5-0 until now we're losing games by 1-0.
Yeah, but we finished
All right.
Yeah, but now we also losing 4-0, 3-0 to teams like Bournemouth.
And we can't win
To teams like
We can't win back-to-back games.
We can't win our game.
James saying here the environment of Manchester United is not for a champion team. Ronaldo ranted about it, right? That's exactly what has to change now. The whole of the background and ownership of United is not for football, only for money. I'm tired of rolling managers, players, and hope it won't get better until the environment does. But I think the Ineos appointed group is more football based now. So let me see. Yeah. Jerome saying, how much can we get for Garnacho? 60 million. We'll take that.
Who paying 60 million for Garnacho?
And we need to rebuild budget. Rather keep Kobe and use Cunha in his place. All right. We concede sloppy goals and do not score many. Yeah, this has been going on for well over a year. Burn it down, right?
A year. Then our lack of scoring going on. It gets worse now.
Yeah.
Since Weghorst gone, it gets worse.
Yeah.
Phil.
Ream.
Yeah,
Ream.
yeah, Julie.
Or Ream.
Yeah, boy.
There like so many comments here right now. They say it's taking too long to read the comments.
The panel come first. If the panel want to talk, that'll talk, right? Mickey saying here, according to the commentators, we have a forward that can't find goalposts, and we have a centre back that finding it more, right? Ivar the Boneless, come on, you Spurs, all right? Thanks for joining, man.
Yeah, man.
Like and share, right? Eric saying here, Hoyland has been trashed for months. Amarim should have dropped him long time ago. He didn't try hard enough to solve that problem. City and Arsenal have played with no striker. Yeah. Christensen here to have Nations League semis and finals to play, but that is not too long after the season done, Christian. So those guys will have enough time to go on holiday and come back in time for the start of preseason. Everybody come back at the same time. Right?
Then deserve any holiday.
Jerome saying here, I don't think men realize our team is not actually better than 16th. We are the weakest physically soft team in this league.
Midfield.
Right, we've only done well when we had a donut in the center in midfield where Ten Hag only focused on attack and not defense, which is why he used to have over 20 shots a game on our goal. All right, we lose most PL games since
including
this because of how soft we are, especially in defense.
Agreed. Agreed 100%.
All right, we coming to the end of the comments. We getting there. Now, but and it's not only win because most of the other top sides weren't good. Wait, boy. All the wicked we 83.1.
Dan, I'm not taking that though. I'm not taking. Why, Dan? As much as we don't like Liverpool, don't take away from the team how teams play. Dan,
the teams in front of them. They beat the
Yeah,
teams in front of
yeah,
them.
exactly.
They were playing some of the best football. Did well too.
They played the best
for most of the season. But not only that though, look at who's the top 7 teams this season. And men want to tell me this league can get harder, host. This league get harder, boy. Don't do me that.
Yeah. And yes, we don't have a proper midfield, which also makes us a soft team, right? And Mickey saying I read in the comments late, but I watch man. I sure you just type this, right? I read it. All right.
Mickey with the late self.
So, fellas, I think we at the end of the pod. You know, we went well over time. You know, I think the therapy did well. The stressor did well.
Yep.
You know, it was good also having Jody in for the first time for the season. You know, so guys, I really don't know what's gonna happen come Sunday. I don't know, right? I don't know if
don't care either.
I don't care. I don't know if you're taking that early.
Don't care.
Yeah, I feel we can take a break here earlier.
No, season done.
No. We still gotta do the
season done.
Postmortem on that game.
We still gotta do keep buy and sell.
Yeah, we do that after that game.
Yeah.
We don't want to do that.
This is not the last part of the season because we still have some other stuff.
Yeah.
You know, but I ain't sure about
that game I make no difference.
That game making no sense.
Phil, I don't know if you want to handle that one. I know, right?
That game making no sense.
I would do the keep, buy and sell because right now I just want to do. I know who to buy and sell. I know who to keep.
I think Mickey comments is the good one to wrap up everything, right? He's saying it was a hard season. Looking forward to a better one next season. All in all, United. I think on that one is where we're gonna sign off. Right, so guys, see you all on the next
Thank you, Mickey.
Yeah, I don't think it will be Sunday, right? But see you all.
No, it's not going to be Sunday. But your wicked self.
Later,
I will.